Build creative confidence. Beat the inspiration addiction. Join the Writer's Gym.
Reclaiming the word just. You know the Nike sign, just do it. You know how simple, clear, beautifully elegant that slogan managed to be. Have you also heard somebody say, why don't you just, and then put after that just something you are really struggling to do? Why don't you just get over them? Why don't you just let yourself be more confident? Why don't you just, whatever it is? And the just tends to turn up in conversation when it already isn't welcome, when it already isn't where that person is at the time. I was thinking about this because for those of you who have been listening for a while, you'll have heard me argue very strongly against the word just in previous episodes when I said think on the page, and when the person I was talking to said, so you say to them, just think on the page, and I would very deliberately get rid of the word just. And like every word that really, really pisses somebody off, there's going to be somebody else it's absolutely the right word for. And I've heard that with so many things. I know somebody who is uncomfortable with showing up, and somebody else who is uncomfortable with accountability, and somebody else who is uncomfortable with hero within a story. And all of these would make fascinating conversations I'd happily have with you. But what I do really feel about those words is the one we're uncomfortable with, there's a conversation we're having over it in our heads. So for me and the word just, I've wanted to reclaim that a little bit recently. Example, Nike, just do it. I did that so well with an email this week. I was so proud of myself. I could have overthought that email until the cows come home. And it was a simple thing. So I thought, if I just told the truth, what would the truth look like? And I looked at that in the email, and I twiddled just a little bit, and I sent that. And I got back a 6-word yes, essentially, which was that person was happy for me to do the thing that I wanted to do. And professionally and personally, that was very nice for me. And I am reclaiming the word just because of that. So I'm going to take that a step further forward in my writing this week. I am going to look for more things that could be more complicated. And I'm going to look for a just. If it were just this and not all the things it could represent, what would that look like? It might be to do with proposals I'm sending out for articles. It might be to do with first drafts of short stories. It might be to do with how much quicker and simpler an edit can turn out to be than what it is in my head. So I'm going to give just its place in the sun, where we don't expect what we're doing to be shiny and marvellous. We just expect it to exist. We just expect us to get it out of our heads and onto the page. So that's the word I am reclaiming this week. And I'm going to be kind to myself over that, because when we don't like a phrase or a word or something, if it sits uncomfortably, that's not wrong, but we might be missing some fun. So that's the one I'm playing with this week. If this rings true for anybody, if there is a word or a phrase or a concept that feels icky to you, I would love to know what it is. The Writer's Gym at rachelknightley.com. Join the Writer's Gym Instagram. Let me know. Words are interesting. Words are important. Words are codes we use to access thought, but it's the thought that counts. So if there is a word you need liberation from, I would love to know what it is and how you're going to do it.
You've visited the Writer's Gym with author and coach Dr. Rachel Knightley. Production and sound design are by Ashley Lexine, and theme music is by Chris Gregory. To join a Writer's Gym workout online or in London, as a guest or as a member, visit writersgym.com or email thewritersgym@rachelknightley.com.